What I'm trying to do is help people live really large on a very small footprint. We can't continue to live enormously on an enormous footprint. It's just not sustainable in any way, shape, or form.
It's the small things in life that really make the bigger picture. Specifically, I know for me, because when you've been subjected to so much death and hopelessness, and you have to find the little things in life that count. You have to find the little things.
I realized that passion was energy. That if you feel passion for something, say you have a vision of what you'd like to do with your life, and you settle for half of it in the name of being realistic. So you say, well, I'll never find that. I'll never find that. So you decide to cut your vision in half. Well, then you don't have as much of an appetite to find it. Passion is energy, and it breeds determination and persistence.
One of the hottest days of the year, I walked outside with Aisha and her friends. And I said, Aisha, can you please tell your friends to come to me for 1 minute? And I said, what do you all want to do with your lives? They were 13 to 15 years old. They started jumping up and down saying they wanted to be doctors and lawyers, singers, rappers, basketball players. I was hooked. Right then and there, I was hooked.
How do we, by design, take care of each other? If we don't, by design, take care of each other, people will just take care of themselves. You have a family of 5, you got to feed them, right? You're going to do what you need to do. So how do we look at a design approach to human settlement in a way that really takes care of each other and looks out for each other?
But I don't know, it was a passion, it was something in me that I couldn't help myself. I just wanted to help these kids. I looked up and there were 15 kids. Now mind you, I knew the first 9 and my daughter, but I didn't know these new kids that were coming into our apartment. There were 15. Then I looked up and there were 20. And then there were almost 30. And I had to move to my dining room. And these were kids in gangs, and they were dropout kids, and they were homeless kids. And they were coming into my house. And then I looked up and there were 30-something. And then there were 40. And then there were 50. And then there were 60.
We don't know who we are until we study our behavior. And from our behavior, we learn who we are. In other words, first we do, and then we be. And Frank Sinatra discovered this ages ago, do, be, do. So the question is, what can you do to figure out what your next passion will be? And the answer to that is you have to sit down and look at your behavior. Look at what you've done.
What do you bring to the table? You can't have a table that is full to overflowing unless you bring something to the table. All right? As Americans in this culture, we are used to somebody else growing the food, preparing it, setting the table. We belly up and stuff ourselves and leave someone else to do the dishes. Like, those days are over, folks. You've got to learn how to bring something to the table, okay? And I don't really care what it is.
There are so many. I'm sitting here and my mind works kind of like a map, or more like a constellation system. I'm looking at all these different remarkable people and how all of you have certain purposes.
Miss Diane, I need help. I want to change my life. I said, Maurice, you're 13 years old. What are you trying to change? He said, Miss Diane, I steal. I hit people. I jump on people. He said, I rob people. He said, my own emo mother. He said, I do bad in school. He said, I'm leading a little gang. He said, and I know it's wrong. Now, mind you, he's just going to 8th grade.
Got up at 6 o'clock this morning to make sure that we could see the sunrise in the forest here. They're the reason I'm here today, and they're the reason that I think I'm proud to be a military widow, because I've realized that it represents my husband's sacrifice, and more importantly, it represents my survival. On May 21st, 2007, I thought my life had ended, but luckily to these women, I realized it had just begun.
But I am scared. But I tell her I'm more scared not to do anything in my community. I've got to do something. I cannot sit in my house and wait on it to come to me. I cannot sit in my house while young people kill each other constantly every day. I cannot sit in my house and not open my mouth. I just can't do it. So
that's what makes you beautiful. Your gifts, I think that's totally obvious. We have so many different gifts in this room, and not even talking about your areas of expertise or your profession, but just your everyday, day-to-day life conversations and the influence you have. Those are your gifts. Let's capitalize on them. And lastly, you know, I appreciate each and every one of you because everything that you're doing, everything that you are, and everything you can be, because that's all I want to give to the world, is ensuring that everybody knows what they are, what they can be, and what they have the ability to achieve.
And I had to remember at the workshop today that I'm only one person. But I remember, too, that there are a lot like me who want to see this world change and want to see things better. And that's why we're here. And that's why we're at CNN and all these other places, because we are good people. We do want to see the world change. We do want to make it good for everybody. And that's what keeps me going, because I keep meeting people like you who encourage me. I'm not out here by myself. There are a lot of you.